Stealth in video games, man. I'm not gonna lie. I've hated every single stealth mission that I've ever played in any video game. It's like my least favorite part, usually. Just because I like going fast or like doing something, and stealth is like... I love stealth. Oh, you're a little slow in the head, huh? Alright, let's do it. NakeyJakey. Stealth in video games. Blah, blah, blah. 3, 2, 1, boom.
Stealth. The art of being completely undetected. As if you were never even there. Knock, knock.
Oh, that noise.
Me. I am that noise. I am the must have been the wind. I am the whistle from the hay bale.
Oh shit, this is Assassin's Creed before they sucked, huh? Look at that! Old freaking Assassin's Creed game.
I am the whistle from the hay bale. I am the one who crouches behind enemy and presses square many times. I am the shadows under light, the night vision goggle sight. I am the one whose footprints are these in the night. I am stealth.
Yeah.
Man! Stealth is a gaming concept so commonplace, you're probably shocked if you can't crouch behind enemy and press square in your padded out open world game. But stealth is a lot more than just a simple takedown or tacked on gimmick. It's a powerful tool that can completely change how a video game is designed and played. The act of sneaking around has had such a monumental and storied impact on the gaming medium. But when is stealth good? When is it bad? How do we make it?
When it's not, when it's really slow. I understand that there's some technique to it, but when there's nothing to do and you have to, for example, if a guard has to walk away really far and I have to wait the full 30 seconds, that's when it's boring. If I can stealth around and like go, zoop, zoop, and then maybe like throw something and it distracts him, and then that's like, I hate waiting for that shit. Like, waiting for rotations? Like, shut up, bitch, man. What am I doing? Like, let me play a video game.
Better. How do we make it bad? It's important that we talk about it all right here, right now, but we also gotta be kind of quiet so we don't. Are you? What? Dude, I'm literally invisible.
Falling into the abyss, hell yeah.
Okay. So, like I was saying. If you ask a gamer what the first stealth game is, you'll likely get some different answers. Oh, it's
the first stealth game I ever played was Tom Clancy. I can't remember what game it was because it was my brother's game. I genuinely couldn't tell you what game it was. I just remember not liking it very much. Splinter Cell. Yeah, I think it was probably Splinter Cell. And he had a little mobile phone game on his phone as well that was a Splinter Cell game as well.
It's Castle Wolfenstein. That game let you wear enemy disguises. Nah, bro, the book of Guinness of being world record green and sparkly says it's 005. That game had enemy vision cones. Assassin's Creed Altair Chronicles is a video game that I own. But the correct answer actually seems to be Shoplifting Boy in 19...
Shoplifting Boy? Man, they encouraged shoplifting back then?
1979. Predating even Pac-Man by a year, you take on the role of the titular iconic boy as you walk around a store avoiding this guy and stealing Thai dollar signs. This prehistoric, barely comprehensible game still successfully established two core tenets of the
$3,500 in 1979? What are you, robbing a fucking jewelry store?
Stealth genre. Don't get caught. Grab anything that isn't bolted to the ground. Beer before stealth, have good health. Stealth before beer, you're gonna have fear. Okay, so now let's fast forward a bit to 1987, and let me tell you something, man. You ever heard of a fucking Kojima production? Metal Gear is the godfather of all modern stealth games. To quote Mr. Ludonarrative Dissonance himself, Clint Hawkins.
That was the game, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, I'm pretty sure. That was it.
Without Metal Gear, there would be no stealth games. I don't think he's... He's not British. More so than any game before, Metal Gear Solidified stealth as its own genre. A lot of games at this point had mostly been about conflict. Shoot everything on the screen with your big gun. Holy shit, you're huge. But Metal Gear said, you're not some super soldier with infinite ammo. You're a fragile little snake and you actually want to avoid combat as much as possible. Quietly dispatch guards. Acquire gadgets like suppressors to use guns without alerting everyone. Metal Gear was originally supposed to be a combat-heavy shooter, but because the MSX couldn't have all these bullets and enemies on screen at once, Kojima and
you could only put so many things into a little video game cartridge, so it like limited video game making. We learned that from the Resident Evil, and also the guy who made a tiny little game. He explained how much space in terms of like kilobytes and megabytes you had, so you had to cut down on resources. Limited.
Stroke of genius utilized his limitations and realized the power of disempowerment. And remember that word, write it down, because it's very important to me in my invisible body. My man is horny as hell, and this is not how humans talk, but man, I so deeply cherish him and his productions, okay? Don't forget, they're his productions, okay? Now let's fast forward a bit to the most important year for stealth games, and maybe just all video games in general. 3 sacred seminal stealth games released in 1998, and every modern stealth mechanic can likely be traced back to one of these 3 games. Metal Gear Solid, Thief, and my boy Metal Gear Solid.
Oh my god, Activision made this game? Guys, Activision has been around for so long, I forget that they actually were like a video game company that made good video games.
Metal Gear Solid is a straight-up gaming monument for so many reasons. The cinematic presentation and voice acting, the creative fourth wall breaks, part where Otacon pees himself and then you let a wolf pee on you. Come to think of it, Kojima Productions kind of have a lot of pee-type beats.
I'm starting to think he's into pissing.
But the Soliton radar and predictable enemy AI that gave you clear chirps on what they're thinking or doing, the game had an amazing sense of feedback. You always understood what was going on. Thief showed us how tense and atmospheric a stealth game could be when played from a first-person perspective, giving the player a lot of freedom while also disempowering them, there's that word again, to instill a palpable sense of danger. Big interactable maps with
me when I get a pinched nerve. Me when I get a calf cramp.
Big interactable maps with mechanics like light and sound, engaging with the player's abilities and environment, an immersive sim, if you will, and you will. I checked. Hello? Hello?
Hi!
You know, usually there's like a guy that I yell at, but I don't see, where the heck you get off?
Bro, you need to get this suit ironed, holy moly.
To. Hi, I'm Jakey, and Jakey, attorneys at law. As an extremely successful, sexy lawyer, I live a very fast-paced, busy lifestyle. A lifestyle that makes it very easy for me to forget that I need to eat food, and then it's too late, and I'm hangry, and I'm screaming at my clients. Go to jail, it's a state overrule. Factor's meal planning and delivery of meals right to my doorstep is a lifesaver and keeps me from being disbarred. Because the second I realize I'm starting to go sicko mode, I can have a fresh, never frozen, delicious meal prepared in 2 minutes. And not just any meal. Chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals that I don't even need to leave my enclosure to get because they send them to me every week in a box. Modern shipping is a marvel. Factor has a variety of over 35 meals to choose from, with options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and more. Before Factor, I would often fall into the trap of just ordering food through an overpriced delivery app with a bunch of stupid fees because my hangry desperation would set in. Not only is Factor cheaper, but it helps me stick to a more balanced diet because it takes all the guesswork out of clean eating, so I'm not just filling my body with random mid-tier loot. Head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code NakeyJakey to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. That's code NakeyJakey at factor75.com to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. Yes, chef. Thank you, chef. Thank you to Factor for sponsoring this video, and now let's get back to trying to find out where the heck that guy went off to. Oh wait, hold on a second. I think I see him. I think I see him right there. Whoa, he's kind of You're kind of coming at me fast. Slow down! Slow down! Ah! Ooh, drop the bass, yes. Oh my god, Tenchu gives you nightmares if you watch your brother play it at a young age.
My brother had a PlayStation 1. We had a PlayStation 1 for a long time until he had a job. My parents never wanted to buy him another console ever again. Lucky, I think it was a hand-me-down from like a friend that he might have bought it off. I don't know. I don't remember the story. I was too little.
And prioritized freedom of movement within a 3D stealth sandbox, letting the player parkour across rooftops and do flashy, cool, big sword press square behind enemy sword moves. That sounds a little bit familiar. Scratch his head. Fucks. Okay, history lesson is over, but let me ask you something, man. What's gonna happen when an enemy? Oh my god! I'm literally a phantom menace.
Oh, that's one thing I absolutely hate. If you get caught, you should be able to instantly like reset to where you are. I hate it when there's like an animation of you getting caught and then you don't get to go back instantly. I hate that shit. Hate it.
Getting caught in a stealth game never feels good, but it especially doesn't feel good if you don't fully understand why or how you got caught. It doesn't matter if the rules are unrealistic, it matters if they're consistently unrealistic. I don't care if the enemy AI is dumb as hell, that's fine. I care if they're consistently dumb as hell.
That's where quick saving comes in. Incorrect. If your game is centered around stealth, I shouldn't have to quick save before every single part. I think I appreciate it a lot when there's like there's checkpoints and you can quickly go back to where you were to learn what you did wrong.
In a way that I can predict.
Quick saving in like a single player game that doesn't center around stealth, I get it. Like that's fine. I don't care about that. I'm talking about like, you know, specifically in stealth games.
And manipulate. Do guards look up? Do guards look down? Will guards hear me if I run? Will a guard see through my disguise if I stand too close to them and whisper my birthday? It's December 28th, by the way. If one person sees me, then why does everyone in the galaxy know exactly where I am now? If the rules aren't consistently made clear, then playing the game will feel like trying to solve a jigsaw puzzle, but the pieces keep changing size and color and shoot you with glocks. It's so much better when the game clearly communicates that, hey, this is where the enemy thinks you are with, you know, a clear visual cue, or the enemy yells, I think she's over there! The radar in Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 is great for giving you clear feedback, but you can also end up playing a lot of those games just staring up at this square. It's the same with games that have that magical X-ray see-through walls vision. It's very easy to end up playing through a very beautiful game through this ugly lens, which just is not ideal. In a social stealth puzzle box game like Hitman,
it just reminds me of cheaters. Like, you know, when you see someone boot up a game like CSGO, it reminds me of cheaters. I think it's a little bit immersion breaking, not gonna lie. That's just my opinion.
X-ray vision makes a bit more sense because you're trying to keep track of so much information at once. But for more active, like action stealth games, I think Far Cry actually established a really sophisticated solution with the marking mechanic that Metal Gear Solid 5 also later adopted. It feels a lot more immersive.
Oh, see, that's kind of like, it's not immersion breaking when you explain it through like lore or like in-game mechanics. I think that's fine.
And engaging to actually have to pay attention and clock the enemies yourself, but then the game gives you an assist and says, okay, we'll help you keep track of everything now. But even with all this help, sometimes you might still mess up and get caught from the shadows. I've been here the whole time, that's right, and my greatest stealth moves at this video is actually about difficulty.
Difficulty skill issue. Have one difficulty.
If I had a nickel for every time I talked about Anthony Birch on this channel, I think I'd have 3 of the nickels. It's not my fault, okay? If MFs like him and Ego Raptor didn't make videos like this, MFs like me would probably be working at Chili's right now. And I'd be wearing fucking Altair's robes too, talking about, oh, you want a refill? Boom! Anthony has a great video on difficulty where he talks about Metal Gear Solid 3 and how playing on the highest difficulty of Extreme actually forced him to play a stealth game like a stealth game. AKA, usually when you get caught in Snake Eater, you can pretty easily just CQC everyone and run to the exit. But on Extreme, you die a lot faster faster, so you can't as easily just brute force your way through. This one simple change forced him to actually utilize all of the different Kojima productions at his disposal and improvise creative stealth solutions. In this right here, this holy union of stealth and difficulty with a side piece of improv is incredible to experience, but unfortunately not always the default experience. Ghost
I think that's what becomes the issue with like Elden Ring. You can't just like, you can brute force the game, but like there's also a difficulty curve. Like you have to understand the game, if that makes sense. I feel like when you make the game too easy, you don't appreciate it for what it is.
Tsushima, a game that I haven't talked about a lot on this channel, but one that I deeply cherish. Just look at this shot. Yeah, that's gonna pump the gas, all right. Playing on normal difficulty the first time, I had zero issue just sprinting into combat all of the time. And as great as the combat is, Ghost, being a disciple of drop the bass Tenchu, it also has a lot of flashy, fluid, stealth ninja stuff. Parkour, grapple hook, chain assassination, kunai, flute, songs, bow to your sensei. But like, you don't really need to use any of that stuff. On lethal difficulty though, it's a completely different situation. The enemies now kill you in like 1 to 2 hits, but also you kill them in like 1 to 2 hits. The kunai goes from being a fun, cute little toy to an essential difference between life.
Well, that's what I think that some games should adopt. Like, again, me, Elden Ring enjoyer, like Dark Souls watcher, like I watch people speedrun that shit sometimes. I feel like you're missing a lot of the point of the game. Like back when you were a kid and you booted up a game, sometimes it doesn't have like, it doesn't have a difficulty setting. That's it. Like that's all you get. So you have to just kind of like learn the game.
And death. A smoke bomb isn't just a cool move, it is the key to surviving an onslaught of enemies. Every technique point spent can drastically change your chances of survival. This kind of increase in difficulty is the right kind of increase in difficulty, not just for stealth games, but for all games in general. Don't just make the enemies spongier with way more health.
Yeah.
Raise the stakes in a way that pushes the player toward using all of the tools in their tool belt. And for most stealth games, that magic word, say it with me, you wrote it down, is disempowerment. You're much more likely to utilize stealth in Sekiro for these exact reasons. Everything will kill the S word out of you if you don't. The S word is sword. One of the greatest stealth levels ever, all gillied up in Call of Duty 4, has extreme.
Oh my god. I just got a flashback to watching my brother play this, man. There's something nothing like this, man. It's such a good fucking like story, man.
Punishing combat if you get caught because yeah, you are severely outnumbered, motherfucker. Sneak around.
But it's not boring sneaking around. You actually, it's sneaking, but like again, the good kind of sneaking.
Dang, okay, I guess I need to run away and hide in this thing. What is this called? Getting caught sucks, but it doesn't always mean the fun part has to be over. In games like Far Cry, Metal Gear Solid 5, the Last of Us games, gameplay can exist in this constant flow between stealth and combat, leading to some really great improv moments where you're just doing whatever you can to survive. This is why the Last of Us games on survival difficulty have amazing stealth gameplay, and it actually feels like the way the game is meant to be played, the way that you're, trying to negotiate which resources you're gonna use because there's actual stakes. And it's the same thing with multiplayer stealth. Some of the most thrilling stealth moments in gaming can actually be found in online games. And I don't just mean Ass Creed.
What game is this, man? What the fuck? Why does this woman have a gat? What the hell?
Actually be found in online games. And I don't just mean Ass Creed or Splinter.
Oh, is that Friday 13th? I was about to say, it kind of looks familiar.
Cell or Metal Gear Online, as great as those multiplayer modes are. In a battle royale, you're literally scrambling to survive using anything that you can find. Whether it's a bush in Fortnite or a ghillie suit in PUBG, playing stealthily can hold a huge advantage. Thinking on your feet to trick actual other human players and prop hunt is full-on yes and improv. But as great as the—
I loved playing prop hunt in, I think it was Team Fortress 2. There's like custom games. I remember playing that in like a LAN, cafe. I'm pretty sure it was Team Fortress. Oh, was it Gary's mod? Yeah, I don't remember. I was a kid. My brother just fucking took me to a LAN cafe, and I don't remember. Sorry, I just don't remember. It was awesome. I loved playing it. What's a LAN? Oh god. Oh god. Oh no. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna throw up. Oh, what's a LAN? Oh. Local area network. That's what it is. Like when you plug up a bunch of computers and you can all play the game. Yeah.
Those improvised moments are, sometimes stealth games will actually push the player away from improvising, whether they mean to or not. Oftentimes, a stealth game can make the player feel inclined to reload a save after getting caught. The Dishonored series is a really interesting example.
Ooh,
I've enjoyed playing Dishonored the most after cranking up the difficulty to at least hard so that the combat has higher stakes, cough cough disempowerment cough. But Dishonored also lets you save whenever you want. And at the end of every level, you also get this rating screen, which shows how many people saw you and how many people you killed, which changes your chaos rating, which then changes the story. Don't get me wrong, I think Dishonored really does want you to be able to play however you want. And I think it's a common misconception that a high chaos run is the bad ending and a low chaos run is a good ending. It's not good or bad, they're just different. But I do think that when you frame it in these terms and you have a rating screen paired with the ability to save...
You shouldn't be able to save. You shouldn't be able to save. Let them fucking do it. Okay, you should have a maybe compromise, like a hardcore version. You can't save IRL. Hitman's hardest difficulty give you one single save. See, I think that's fair because it's like an honor mode where you can't save.
It might subconsciously push a player toward a playstyle that's, oh shit, I got caught and I killed someone. Okay, time to reload the save. But I find it's so much more liberating to just let things play out and see what emergent gameplay can happen. The new Hitman games have the same thing. Amazing, complex stealth sandboxes that subtly discourage the player from experiencing emergent gameplay moments because, oh no, my rating at the end will be bad if I do this fun thing, so better just reload the save. And all of this, like, I mean, this entire video was really just an excuse so I could say the following thing. Hitman Freelancer is the greatest stealth game ever made. Everything. I mean, literally everything I've...
When did this game come out? I remember people... Wasn't that one of the first ones that ever came out? Hitman? What's it called? What do you name it? Hitman Freelancer. When did this come out? Hitman Freelancer. I don't know. Release date. January 26th. Thank you. What year? 22? 2022? That's when it came out? Alright. Yeah, I remember a lot of people talked about it.
Greatest stealth game ever made. Everything. I mean, literally everything I've talked about, it's in this game. Freelancer is the roguelike add-on that uses all of the same levels, but gives you random objectives and targets across a series of consecutive campaigns. There's no saving and reloading, it's just you, your targets, and a bunch of optional incentives to make extra money so that you can buy better gear to help you throughout your run. Freelancer's random objectives pushes you into situations that you would likely never get into while playing the base game. We'll give you extra money if you... Objectives pushes you into situations that you would likely never get into.
Me when women talks.
While playing the base game. We'll give you extra money if you wear a funny disguise and throw an explosive baseball at this guy. Oh, you want me to use a goddamn katana? Alright, shout out to Tenchu, drop the base, let's figure out how to do this. Cool. And because you can't just reload a save, getting caught in Freelancer feels extremely tense because if you die, you fail the campaign. But because...
I think I watched Giga play this Hitman. I remember we raided her and I was like eating dinner and I watched her playing it. It looked pretty
Batman's
nice.
enemy AI and disguise system are so fun to play around with and manipulate. Even getting caught can turn into this fun game of cat and mouse. The overall feeling of
You're looping your captors.
Freelancer is who gives a shit about a rating, just get the job done however possible. Freelancer is like a goddamn comedy club with how much improv is going on. Alright, so in summary, what did we learn today? A, I am invisible, and there is unfortunately no cure for that. B, disempowerment is a very powerful tool in gaming. C, emergent gameplay featuring improvised creative stealth solutions will always bang. And D, Kojima Productions are in fact productions by Hideo Kojima. Thank you so much.
Wow, really? No way. No, but for real though, improv bangs. You want to know another reason why it bangs? Replayability! Replayability in some games is really good. Yeah, Elden Ring, frickin' Baldur's Gate, all the ones with options. If you can replay it more than once, it's probably a good game. Not all.
Kojima Productions are in fact productions by Hideo Kojima. Thank you so much for watching my video. What are some of your favorite stealth games? I'm realizing right now that I literally didn't really talk about like horror stealth games after mentioning that Thief was like started first-person horror and there's like Alien Isolation, Resident Evil and all that stuff. Go watch a YouTuber play Amnesia, I don't know. Yeah, what are some of your favorite stealth games? Put them down in the chat. I was about to say, what are you wearing? That's
Alien
weird. Don't comment that.
Dude, that shit is scary.
What's your favorite pattern of camo? And why is it teal? See you next time.